This is part two. So after meeting Dr. McPherson and I had my ninth hip dislocation, I decided to move forward with having the hip repaired. So when I had the hip repaired, I was sent after the surgery last month. I was sent to a acute rehab by this guy named Wes who set all it up. And he told me it was a nice facility and all that. Now, mind you, he's lying to me the whole time because I know now that it was bottom barrel. When I got to the place, it did not even have a call button for nurses. So I guess he thought it was okay for me. And I also had a doctor here tell me about me being black and that would be advantageous for my healing and all this. And this whole thing about black folks have a higher threshold with pain, which is crazy. So I went on to the rehab and it was a disastrous experience. I actually had to be sent back to UCLA because my wound came open and blood was just shooting out of the incision. So when I got back to UCLA, they had to do another surgery on me. At this time, my mother and my father were at the hospital, flew in from the South, which is where I'm from, to be with me doing this operation. So during this time, the hospital was doing what they were supposed to do. But as soon as my parents left, instead of sending me to the right type of rehab that I would be comfortable in, even the doctor says you need to be comfortable where you're going to be rehabbing it. So they did the very bare minimum to get me into a facility. And so even my insurance approved everything. They was approving the place in which I was supposed to be going to. They told me that they would pay for transportation back and forth to the doctor's appointments and all that. So, but because of this guy named Wes who runs it, who even told me, he said, well, sometimes I think we get spoiled with the level of treatment we get here at UCLA. So when we go somewhere else, then we're not as satisfied. What do you mean spoiled? What other level of care should I want? I'm in my 30s. This has been going on since my 20s. But the prime of my life, I want the best care so that I can go on with my life. Mind you, I was making six figures before this happened. So I was doing just fine. I did what I was supposed to do. I went to college, the whole thing that they tell you to do to have a successful life and live the American dream, which so yeah, but now I'm at a very pivotal point where they're just trying to send me home since I don't want to go back to the place that they're saying, well, you got to prove for this place, so they just want to send me home. So now I'm putting this out there. I'm letting people know this is what they're doing to patients. Stay tuned for part three.